Okay, today I'm going to talk about three things. Why I would fire me if I was my boss, how I learned to keep better track of my schedule, and how I continue to be a consistent artist turning out a product even though I have ADHD and am very easily distracted. Example A, this video. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is if you're a self-employed person or an artist or a creative person as a hobby, it's so easy. It's so easy not having a boss to get distracted, right? And if I was my boss, I would have fired me years ago because I promise that I'll get something done between the hours of 9 and 12, and I generally forget or will extend that timeline. And so today I'm going to talk about the two things that I do that help me to kind of constrain or restrain my distractibility. And it actually relates to that example that I gave. So the first one is keeping a calendar, and not an iPhone calendar. This is keeping a paper calendar separate from your smartphone. The reason why, for me, there's too many things going on my phone. I'm going to get distracted. It's going to do the opposite of keep me on track. The only job that this piece of paper has is to keep me distracted. Why is that side blank? It's to keep me distracted. It's to keep me on track, the opposite of distracted. And so a physical calendar, super helpful. You're way more likely to do something if you write it down, but you're even more likely to do something if you've assigned a timeline to each task. So notice that when I've written something down, excuse my hand, I've written the timeline. So from 5:20 to 6:20, I'm going to work on this project, right? And from 8:45 to 9:45, I'm going to work on this project. This is super helpful. I don't know if you could even see the thing I was pointing at there. Sorry, but super nice to have a timeline associated with each task. It's helped me. The second thing is to do a 1 hour, what I call a warm-up carving. And I've talked about this so many times on this channel, and I have been inconsistent, if I'm being honest, in even executing this. But whenever I do, right, even if I'm only getting 2 warm-up carvings a week instead of 5 as I should be, I'm making 2 carvings that I didn't otherwise have. That's super huge. And this is an example of today's 1 hour carving. It's probably realistically an hour and a half's worth of carving, because by the time I got into the project, that hour timer went off. I was so excited to keep going on this that I spent another half hour working on it and brought it to a really decent spot for that time. This is not the usual for me. Like, typically a project like this would take me 5-6 hours. So the timeline, the constraint of that 1 hour warm up, starting a completely separate project, it's sort of refreshing. It gets my mind going. It gets my brain pumping, and it gets me in the mode of doing the work, even if I don't feel like it, right? Seth Godin says that if you hire a surgeon to do a surgery on you, you don't want him to be, quote unquote, authentic. You don't want him to show up when he feels like it, or say right before your surgery, yeah, my heart's really not in this today. You want him to show up because he's a professional, and professionals do the work. So the 1 hour challenge is a really good way to kind of show yourself you're going to be productive, you're going to make something if it kills me, right? If it kills you. So this is great. I like having the 1 hour challenge, and the timeline for sure helps. These are the two things that are most helpful for me. So I hope that you understand I'm not showing this because I've mastered it. I'm showing this because these are the things that keep me productive as a human being. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be. So hopefully this helps you as much as it's helped me. All right, bye.